Hello and welcome to Tales of Our Dark Past. Today we're here in Colchester at St.Andrews Church in Grinstead.
There's been a church on this site since before the Domesday Book was written in 1086.
That probably would have been a Saxon church at that point, but this present church is a 12th century Norman church with medieval additions. These photos of two coat of arms were taken inside St Andrew's Church. One is the coat of arms for Colchester and one is the royal coat of arms of Britain. After the Battle of Hastings in 1066, William the Conqueror granted these lands to his steward, Eudo Dapifer, who had served him through this time. Eudo became lord of the manor and he fixed up a lot of the buildings in Colchester. He done Colchester Castle, he done St John's Abbey, he helped build the leper hospital up in top of Brook Street, and he probably had a hand in building this church here at the same time.
A lot of these buildings were made from Roman bricks and rubble, reused from the burnt down buildings after Boudicca took her revenge on the town.
In 1119, Eudo Dapifer handed the manor of Grinstead to St John's Abbey, and he did it as the tithes for Grinstead, which is basically about 10% of what a person would own at that point. After Eudo's death in 1120, this building was acquired by William de St Clare, the same de St Clare family that owned the Roslin Chapel in Scotland from the Vinci Code. Between 1141 and 1151, William grew disenchanted at the way that King Stephen was aggressively expanding his kingdom. So he got fed up and headed to Scotland and decided to be a steward up there for Queen Margaret and King Malcolm III of Scotland. William de St Clare handed the church back to St John's Abbey, and they held it until the dissolution in 1536. At that point, Henry VIII granted Thomas Cromwell the manor of Grinstead, and he held it until he went to the Tower of London in 1540.
In 1548, King Henry VIII gave the lands to the Princess Mary, the future Bloody Mary. In 1557, Bloody Mary granted the lands to Bernard Hampton, a member of the Privy Council.
In 1561, the lands were then handed to Lawrence Coxon, a London haberdasher, who was a retailer of sewing equipment. In 1563, the lands were then handed to Thomas Lucas, and the Lucas family held the lands all the way through till after the First World War. In 1648, this church was caught up in the English Civil War between the Parliamentarians and the Royalists. The Royalists were basically in the town centre, and the Parliamentarians decided to build a fort all the way around this church, and they called it Fort Whaley. And they could fire their cannons then towards the town centre. And there was even supposed to be a cannonball shot on the tower.
Here on the wall behind us is where the church was struck by a cannonball during the siege. What else did you want to show me?
We'll go and see Robert Death, who's buried over here at the back. And this is his grave here right in front of us. And he died in 1884.
Interesting name.
Very interesting name. There are a few other old graves. The Commonwealth War graves, which there's 4 in here. There's 3 from the First World War and 1 from the Second World War.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe.